Hey, this is Big Papa Pump Scott's Diner.
Yes, it is me, Gerald the Poupée.
Hey, this is Joe Gatto.
Well, hello there. It's me, Harold the Puppet.
This is Eric Young.
This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Ardano, and you are listening to Shootin' Poop.
The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode number, God, I lose count, 58.
It's
now,
on the screen.
Oh, breaking kayfabe early, I see. It's going to be that kind of episode, everybody. Stay tuned, sit back, enjoy. Like I said, we've already broke kayfabe. Who knows what else we're going to do? We may go straight off the rails. I have no clue. There's no script tonight. We're flipping the format. Let's go.
Guys, is it me or was Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Watson really that annoying in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies?
Dude, that picture, just when you get a fucking at least one that doesn't, like, come on, dude. You realize I've dropped 30 pounds since you took that pic? We had that picture taken.
Well, that means I just got to get a
photo.
Well, next time we get together, I'll get you a more flattering.
It's not even that. It's the fucking angle of it too. He picked an absolute worst possible photo.
Dude,
and it's like a photo that's
pregnant.
You look like you're trying to call somebody over.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, exactly.
Hey, wait, but I gotta go with the elephant in the room. What the hell? What are you breaking into somebody's house, Joey K?
Oh no, I just turned the camera around.
Dude, that's wow. That's kind of. I feel
like
like
the front face part of the house.
I feel like you should be doing that Chappelle joke where he talked about he couldn't call the cops because he lived in too nice of an apartment. I know what happened here. This Philly guy broke into this house and hung pictures of his family up. It's an open and shut case, Johnson. Just break up some crack on him and walk away.
I don't know. I just look at my couch over here and I just think of Rick James. Buy a new couch. Digging your feet, muddy ass boots into the couch.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your couch.
Goes good with the
you know
turtle
what?
too, man.
He's got very Steve Jobs-ish if he was the Pacific Island Playboy over there.
This is
actually
wow. I haven't heard that one in a while.
I felt it was time to welcome you all to my home.
Mm-hmm.
The way we see it here.
Dude, all that living room needs is a bowl of granola on the coffee table.
I swear to God, there's potpourri in there.
Could you, hey?
No, we're high rolling, baby. We got Glade plugins fresh every 2 weeks.
Could you be at least, like maybe lit the fire,
Oh no, it gets too stuffy.
No, dude, that's a TV screen. That ain't a real fireplace over there.
Yeah, that's not a real fireplace, man. That's all fake.
That's a TV screen.
That's a real fireplace.
Oh,
that's a TV screen for short people. That ain't a real fireplace.
That's a real fireplace.
There aren't the trees in Philly. He don't have any wood to cut. There's no trees in Philadelphia.
Trust me, bro. We burn some trees out here daily. Fucking daily.
Do they look like Christmas trees with sugar crystals on them, big dog?
Ho ho ho, baby. Yeah.
Apparently he has company, so we'll have to make this one a quick one tonight, gentlemen. I just heard it. So, I know. Hey, ho ho ho.
I like how you stuffed that one in there. Speaking of stuffing things in there,
Oh hell. Yeah.
So how we feeling about that Christmas matchup this week?
Oh, feeling fantastic. What a present. What a glorious gift that we needed.
As I recall, I think we left off last week where I was stuffing my fist up your ass and moving that mouth and making you sad laugh across the screen. It wasn't even my fist. I literally just jumped up in those cheeks. I was in that to win that, dude.
Hey,
wow.
Can we talk about the Bears Monday night? Like we actually played 4 quarters of football, man. That was
right.
It's funny when that happens.
Yeah, dude. It don't happen much, so we take it. The Bears won and the Bulls won, so I was feeling pretty cocky Monday night. You're lucky we weren't recording then.
They beat teams from Boston.
Well, you know, we got Dallas coming up in a few weeks. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind spanking that out.
Sunday.
Is it this Sunday?
It is this Sunday this week.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you guys are starting to figure it out. I wouldn't put it past the Dallas Cowboys to play down to their competition like they did.
Dude, don't start being humble now just because you're getting your ass kicked all of a sudden.
Hey, no,
2
he's
weeks
not being
ago,
humble.
You were talking shit nonstop. Now you're all humble and stuff. Knock it off. Okay.
Giovanni humble. He's being a cynical asshole right there.
No, it sounds like he spent the past couple of days dusting out the VHS tapes of their Super Bowl wins and fucking jerking off with his fucking tears after me ripping my new ass last week about the Eagles winning.
Yeah.
They still have more rings.
Speaking of tapes and stuff, Sean, you got a Betamax copy of the Bears last Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah, I got a reel of it too.
Oh, the 22 millimeter film reel or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Stolen straight from the taken straight from NFL archives.
Yep.
On the frozen tundra. Those intros.
Dude, those are awesome.
I fucking love those.
Actually, you know what I was thinking about when I was thinking about the Bears in our new stadium that was coming, that we're going to be getting, which is going to be a dome. And then I thought, man, Joey K is really going to be pissed when we get a WrestleMania here too.
Well, he's got WrestleMania coming up.
I got Mania coming in 24.
Yeah, we're going to be sleeping on that sofa back there.
Yeah,
I think. Oh, they're going to actually do a Mania in Philly, huh?
I got a year and change to scrub the love stains off of it for you guys.
So you guys ain't had any Philly fans shooting other people or anything in a couple of years. Apparently, they think it's safe.
It's been all right.
It's been all right.
Are those couches pull out? Are the couches pull outs?
Well, there's not a lot of pulling out happening on that couch. That's God damn. Are you just trying to set me up tonight?
You want to get us back on track?
Are we going to talk about wrestling at all? Or is it? Are we?
Pulled out. He barely knew her. Anyway, so we got to get on to wrestling, man. Why not? Who's been watching New Japan? Where are we at with this? I know Joey K's.
I don't want to talk about.
Your Guam and Hope. He's out, but everybody else I think is still alive. Dennis, where are we at?
I'll pull up the latest updates and stuff. But I do want to say that I believe a little bit of a refresher here for our shooters out there. Who do we all go with originally to pick this tournament? I know Joey K had Jeff Cobb.
I had Zack Sabre Jr.
I'm 90% sure I want Sonata.
Yeah, you did, and then I had Ren Narita.
No, Javon had Evil, Baby Mama.
Yeah, he did.
No, we're not pulling for the Baby Mama. We just said that Evil has a strong resemblance to the Baby Mama.
Speaking of pulling out.
5 seconds too late, my friend. 5 seconds too late. You know what they say? It's the quickest 3 seconds on the world.
Okay, so this is actually what I got. We actually have right now we have, I believe, it down to the 8, and the tournament actually, the second round actually kicked off earlier today. Latest update, we have Evil defeating Yoshihashi to move on to the semifinals.
Damn it.
And then we have Zack Sabre Jr. defeated David Finlay to move on as well too. So
it's a good win for Finlay.
Yeah. No, Zack Sabre Jr. defeated David Finlay.
Oh, okay. There we go.
So we got in the semifinals on November 5th, we got Zack Sabre Jr. going up against Evil, with the winner moving on to January 4th. And then the other two quarterfinal matches will take place Sunday. We got Sonata going up against Kenta, which should be a fun one.
Ooh.
And then this one should be, I don't know what to make of this. We got Toru Yano going up against my pick, Red Narita.
There's no way Yano wins that match.
But dude, Yano, man, is just so hilarious. I mean,
you give your comedy acts maybe one good win, which is, you know what? I don't give a fuck. You guys could bash it all you want. I don't give a damn. That's kind of my beef with Orange Cassidy winning the All Atlantic title. But you give your comedy act a few strong wins, but you're not going to let them progress into actually the next levels of a tournament when you have somebody like a Ren Narita that could be taking that spot. I mean, don't discredit your company like that.
So,
but dude, they're fighting over a fucking belt buckle from Bucky's. Who gives a shit?
Nah, dude.
No, it's the man ring from Med 70 show.
Cracker Barrel.
You know what? That's a good
Cracker
point.
Barrel. That's some good stuff.
I had fantasy football belts that look way better than that thing.
Speaking of belts, man, I have one on the way. I won a raffle. It's actually been a while ago, like 6 weeks ago, but I won a raffle. I won a WCCW World Class Championship.
If it's been a few weeks ago, I hope you get it, brother.
He'll get it.
Yeah, Matt,
we know he knows one of the guys that runs the raffles. And actually,
my guy Matt messaged me today and sent me a screenshot of the tracking number and the paperwork. So that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that dance before too, man. It's okay.
Oh no, Matt ain't gonna see me down over.
As long as Matt's not in jail.
As long as he's not in jail, yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know what happens when, like people that claim to be legit go to jail.
5 seconds, gentlemen. 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. But there's also some interesting developments, because apparently this whole thing with Carl Anderson in the Never Openweight Championship, there he was double booked, and it sounds like they're kind of going with this.
You know what, man?
Is that a work? Is that
it might be real? It might be real. But here's my thing. I don't care if that's a work or not. What I need to know if it's a work or not is that marriage. Because fucking ex-hot Asian wife sounds a lot better than hot Asian wife, if you know what I'm saying. I've never had an issue, with the differential between ex and not ex. But, come on, man. It's hot Asian wife.
Mm.
Once again, I'm sorry to Sean's wife.
I just don't know that he's even good enough to carry a strap on his own anyway.
Oh.
And my wife's in the room, dude, so just behave.
Oh.
He'll put you in your place.
I'll tell you the kind of strap he carries on his own, but you don't want to hear it.
Oh my god.
They call him the machine gun, baby.
We're off the rails already.
It's not even my fault. It's not even my fault.
And also too, I know Okada said some things to kind of spice up the match he's got with Jay White coming up at Wrestle Kingdom too.
Spicy.
And he's talking about how he's not happy with the way Jay White comports himself and stuff, But, dude, Jay White's like killing it right now.
How long before we're tired of Okada?
I'll be honest with you.
I've been tired of Okada.
I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that more people aren't tired of him, because it's kind of and no disrespect to Okada, because I'm not a huge Okada fan, but I just think that it's kind of weird that they keep going back to him, yet nobody
He's
says
the Japanese John Cena, man.
He is, dude.
Yeah.
He is.
My thought.
It's the same. It's the same match. And they keep bringing him back because.
But nobody says anything like they do with Cena, like they did with Reigns,
Well, it's different there than it is
here,
There's more honor in what they do there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, being a professional wrestler in Japan is like there's on like those guys meet with heads of state and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our guys hang out at like Waffle House.
Olive Garden.
Meat sauce god.
What the fuck is up, Denny's? Like, the thing is though too, you have to also understand. I think it's like that American difference where Cena's everywhere in America, and has been for a long time. Okada here is still not, the household name, just like New Japan's not like, top, when people talk wrestling in America, it's WWE and AEW. So that takes a little bit off. Now, if it was different and New Japan was, one of the top 2 promotions in this country, we'd probably be having a much different discussion about the fan reaction to Okada.
You know what though, and here's
it's
my
not that I always thought he was probably the first 50 times I seen him. I thought, man, this guy's special. But then, it is. It's kind of like eating the same meal every day for a month. After a while, you're just like, all right, dude, can we throw some potatoes in this or something? Just give me something else,
or like listening to the same song over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Or being married, apparently, according to some people. But anyway, I think my.
Sorry, are you purposely trying to get Sean in trouble?
Dude, no, my marriage is good, bro. I saw
his wife go at him. I saw his wife jump at him like a spider monkey the other day, and that's like my life's goal is to see her take him out.
I'll dump you fuckers in a heartbeat. It ain't even shit. If she was like, "Nah, you can't do it," I'm like, all right, I'd rather hang out with you anyway.
Look, the only thing I know is she said you're a Brock Lesnar guy, and you didn't defend yourself there, buddy.
That is not true.
Some baby dog bullshit right there.
That is not fucking true. Actually, the funny thing is, one of the reasons why I was attracted to her was her fucking hatred for Brock Lesnar.
Oh, well, there you go.
I remember me and her, the first time we talked about wrestling was in a Facebook wrestling group. That's where I met her.
Well, buddy, the house that hates together stays together.
He was commenting on Brock Lesnar's tattoo. She said it looked like a big dick on his chest. And I was like, I got to meet this girl. Her fucking hatred for Lesnar was so fierce. I was just like,
I have no issue with the sword. I have tons of issue with the ejaculate at the tip of it.
Oh my god!
What was the name Cock Chestner thrown out at any point in that conversation? Because I feel like that would warrant a marriage proposal. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god! And I say this fully knowing that Brock could probably use me as a fucking condom if he wanted to.
Well, dude, he'd kill all of us. I actually, my hatred for him is less. This last run that he's come back and kind of
Cowboy Brock.
Yeah, man, he's kind of being more interactive with the fans, and you're starting to actually see a little bit more
personality,
less of an asshole. You know what I mean?
He's got that like a lot better than the 03 Lesnar.
For sure.
He did, like because he was a heel, but he had that personality that came out.
Yeah.
And now with him is that in between character, in between heel and babyface, depending who he's matched up against. It works.
Yeah.
You know what? Weird things that just works, man.
Blue Chew.
We haven't done a Blue Chew spot in years. I mean, we haven't done a generic dick pill spot in years either. We'll maybe throw one in, but that's what she said. Yeah. Anyway, going back to the old days of shooting shit. We're back.
Anyway, New Japan wrestling stuff.
Yeah, man. Have we talked about wrestling at all?
Hell yeah, we have, and that's where I'm getting, man. Is fucking.
I'm vamping, so I don't have to fucking sit here and listen to you guys talk about NXT because I'm not going to do it.
We're not.
Shut up and drink your champagne with the by the fireplace.
Maybe go play my baby grand piano next too.
You gonna tickle the ivories?
Oh yeah, I'll tickle it.
He's gonna tickle them all night, gentlemen. He's got the whole world in his hands.
Is that what he's calling it?
resurgence.
Come on, we were actually trying that time.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
For you.
You were being serious. You were trying to do some work. Okay, all right.
We can be serious at times,
All
Sean.
right, all right.
We can be.
We were trying to work. This is all the shoot. This is like the worst episode ever, guys. If y'all stuck through this when you're champs, just like everybody here, man. I love Bray Wyatt. How are we feeling about the resurgence of Bray Wyatt? This Uncle Harper character, this creepy mask. What are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
I think it's too early to pass judgment because it's like I got to see a little bit more. Like I'm intrigued, and it's like okay, I have to see what happens next and stuff and where this goes. I don't know if he's going to do like a multiple personality type thing, kind of similar to, when he was a Fiend and then, the Firefly Funhouse, Mr. Rogers type Bray Wyatt, if he's going to do that, if he's going to explore, they'll go back to the Eater of Worlds and, the cult leader, if he's expanding more. It's really intriguing. And I mean, he's doing such a good job of like giving us what we want, which is seeing him. But at the same time, when he's done, it's like, okay, I got to see what happens next. Like he gives us what we want, yet he still leaves us wanting more.
I kind of
somebody,
dude,
please,
for real, you got to get control of it, man. You're running this shit.
God,
come on, man.
Think before you open that mouth.
Wow. Okay.
Because you just gave us some fucking gems. Anyway, go on, Sean.
Anyway, I like what he's doing. I'm not in a big hurry to see him be in the title picture. I'm not even in a big hurry to see him in the ring. I like what they're doing. Keep building this up. I'm kind of hoping this character that they're bringing along with him, I think it would be really, really cool if that was Barry Windham. I kind of the build and the look of him and everything. He kind of looks like Barry Windham. The size and everything. I'd love to see Barry Windham be a part of something with. I mean, that's his, who he's named after.
His uncle.
Yeah. So I would love to see Barry Windham be involved in something like that, working with him. I don't really know what's going on. It's kind of sporadic and chaotic, and that's Bray. You know what I mean? I see so many different they need to build a stable, and he needs to let's put Rhea Ripley with him, and just let him be him. Just let him do his thing. You're doing so good. So many things right now. Yeah. Let's not make it more complicated. Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be.
And Triple H will let him be himself. And I think one of the things that I'm really intrigued about is the fact that there's rumors that a couple of the members of this Wyatt Six or whatever they're going to call them are going to be Vincent and Dutch from the Righteous from Ring of Honor. And I know we've talked about in way back, I think when we did our draft special back when Ring of Honor, when it closed down after Final Battle last year, we did our draft. And I think I mentioned about the Righteous being drafted to WWE because they were kind of like that this era's, Wyatt family. And I thought Vincent was, kind of like that guy that could pull off that Bray Wyatt character. And just the fact that there's a chance that we could see the two of them together, I think that'd be mad television magic.
Joey K.
Yeah, it's good.
You didn't even watch this week, did you?
Hell no.
Look up in the mountains.
Yeah. So no, I started to watch though. I have everything recorded, so I always keep it recorded and watch it after. It's what we're like 3 weeks in at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 weeks in. I don't have any judgment on it yet. Let it have time. I don't think even in the missteps with Bray, for his various characters, it's still stuff that you want to watch and see what's next, whether you like it or not. I wasn't a big fan of the Firefly Funhouse. That was not really one that I enjoyed much. The Fiend started out pretty good, but kind of went off the rails a little bit. I love the Eater of Worlds, the Wyatt family, but all of it stuff that you're like, well, what the hell is going to happen next? Where are we going with this? And that's exactly where we're at now. It's like we don't know. It could be any number of people. It might not be anybody. It might be that split personality type character where every week he comes out as a different version of him, from years past and something different. So we don't know. And that's the thing. We're sitting here speculating. It could be this person, could be that person. It could be just Bray. Who knows? Let's see where it goes. I mean, either way, I'm gonna be watching it no matter what.
Let me offer up this, man. That first promo when he first came back. I don't think that was Bray Wyatt. I think that was Wyndham. Wyndham was in the ring.
Yes.
The thank you promo. And everything that's kind of happened since then, I think we're slowly seeing the descent into madness. The psychology is there of all these demons that Wyndham Rotunda, not Bray Wyatt, had to deal with.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because they still are doing the QR codes, and I know they had that one recently where if you scanned it, it was like a psychiatric evaluation of him from years ago or something, and it's just like you can tell they're putting so much effort and so much into this, and usually when you put this much effort into a storyline or a character, you're like basically you want it to succeed. So I'm just glad to see, but I just think that all the layers and everything, it's great.
Yeah. Talking about layers, talking about legacies, family, guys, we had a 4th generation superstar make their debut.
Yes.
Let's get into a little jism with Schism and their latest member.
I admit, like, I was really shocked.
You and Dennis can talk about this one. You guys got this, right? All right.
I was really shocked because there was a report. I can't remember who put it out or something. But gotta love these dirt sheet writers that think they know everything and stuff. They were, they were saying, I think it was Isla Dawn or from NXT UK was rumored to be the 4th member. But honestly, I like it. Like, I think Joe Gacy's very talented on the mic, and the two guys that used to be, the grizzled young vets. I can't remember what their names are now, what they call them now, but Zach Gibson and James Drake, very talented guys. I'm a big fan of their run as the grizzled young veterans, and that. So, and then with now Ava Raine, aka Simone Johnson, it'll be interesting in that, because I think obviously, pretty much everybody knows Ava Raine is The Rock's daughter. So she's got, high expectations a la, Charlotte Flair, hell, even David Flair, although we all know how well that turned out and stuff.
Low blow. Keep going.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting. But I want to pose a question to all three of you guys here. So we talk about, Ava Raine being the first 4th generation wrestler, and there's a few talented 3rd generations wrestlers out there, one of them being The Rock. Who do you think has had a better professional wrestling career, The Rock or another 3rd generation star in Randy Orton?
Is that serious?
Okay, I get what he's saying in the
sense
you gotta look at it from just the wrestling. If we're just talking the wrestling standpoint, Randy's been world champion more times. He's held more titles. Is he The Rock? No. No. But I don't think you can take away from what Randy's done and what Randy is in the ring, which in my opinion is probably one of the most underrated workers in the business because of his last name. I mean, that kid, he's been able to go since the day he put boots on.
And we're going on, then we're talking 20 plus
You're talking
years.
Legend Killer, Voices in My Head, all the stuff that he's done has worked. The Viper, I love that gimmick, and I always have.
Arcade Bro.
I mean, The Rock, you guys, how long was The Rock's actual wrestling career?
Really, I think he was only full-time for...
What, 3-4 years? 4? Was it 6?
Because it was I think it's 96. I think it was 02 was probably when he kind of went from being, full-time. And even by in 02, he was already kind of winding down and stuff, because he really He had that match with Brock at SummerSlam, and then I don't think he wrestled again until WrestleMania 20.
And that was against
WrestleMania right before WrestleMania 19. I apologize. Because he had that Austin's last match.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy's been going strong now for almost 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
And been at the top of the card his entire career. I mean, comparing the two personality-wise, promo-wise, and all that, it's apples to oranges because The Rock is The Rock. But if we're just talking solely on his wrestling career, you can't diminish what Randy's done compared to The Rock just because The Rock is, a big super movie star and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're looking at it just from that standpoint, Randy's he's in the conversation. Now, if we're looking at it from The Rock versus everybody else, then no, it's The Rock,
Right.
What do you think, Turtleneck?
Well, I think the biggest problem here is we're leaving out probably the greatest third generation superstar of all time. The man who still has not been eliminated from the Royal Rumble going on 7 years.
I hate you so much.
I got two out of the three. I'll take it. Yeah, you can't really compare the two because a 6-year career compared to a 20-year career, full time. I mean, come on, that doesn't make sense. Randy's biggest problem has always been, and he's even said it, is Randy.
Yeah.
He spent years because he's so fucking good and such a natural at everything he's done in the wrestling business that he spent years just going, fuck it, whatever. I can go out and have a great match and just fuck off and do whatever. It doesn't matter. And that was always a bummer because the kid's been absolute fucking gold since he stepped into a WWE ring.
Yep.
The Rock, The other thing too is not just looking at their careers and their, wrestling careers. But in my opinion, they're two different generations of wrestlers.
Yes.
At this point too, because by the time Randy came through, it was a different era of wrestling. Is The Rock really the major star that he is without him debuting in the Attitude Era? Who knows?
Probably not.
I mean, I honestly, I don't think he is.
I agree with you.
And we've seen that in the comebacks that he's had over the years. When he was booed, when he was going against Cena, there was legit booing happening. Nobody was doing that when The Rock was The Rock, circa 2000. I mean, so you can't really compare them because of that. I mean, in the end, though, Randy will never get the praise that The Rock gets because The Rock did go on, and it's hard to differentiate the career of The Rock and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yes.
And as far as generational stars go, man, you got to throw there's other guys that can. Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bret Hart.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, those two right there. I mean, I dare say that you can't put Eddie in the top 5 all time. In my opinion,
talking second generation wrestlers. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just saying generational stars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Eddie, I don't know what generation he is. Was he second, third?
I believe he's second.
Second generation.
He's second. Bret's a second. But even so, you have to. It's at some point. It's so hard to live up to the legacy of what a famous father has done in the business, and now we're in the point where a famous mother in the business, we're getting to that time now with women's wrestling coming around in the last, especially like the last 15 years where it's built from. But having that
that's kind of cool, name, right?
Yeah, it is cool.
It's cool.
I mean, I have a daughter, so to me, it's really it's kind of awesome. Like where you always used to say, no, who was your father? Who was your father? You know, it's like, oh yeah, who's your mom? Oh yeah, my mom was so and so. Like that's kind of
well now it ain't my mom was in bras and panties matches. Like now they can say my mom's a wrestler. You know what I mean? Like it's you know, compared to what it used to be. And
my
that's
mom
not
wrestled
their
in a
fault.
ladder
They
match,
just did what they got paid to do. But
or even better. How about in 20
main event
years
WrestleMania?
How about in 20 years when you get Seth and Becky's kid, their daughter, like
Mox's kid.
Wow.
Mox's kid. Like there's so many things. I will say this though, going back to the original point, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. NXT is fucking whatever. But hey, I do like that she said that she wanted to, in an interview, she wants to be her own. Doesn't want to be The Rock's daughter. So she has her own ring name that has nothing to do with her family, as we know, so many members of that fucking family. Yeah. And on top of that, she just wants to do her own thing, you know. And of course, there's comparisons. Well, The Rock jumped into the Nation of Domination. Yeah, okay, cool. But this is different. It's a different era of wrestling with factions and things like that than it was back in Attitude Era. So yeah, it's pretty cool. She's doing her own thing, not coming in just being like, oh, I'm part of that Samoan legacy and everybody should respect that. No, she's doing her own thing, whole different character, whole different gimmick. And good for her. I like that.
I agree with you in the sense that I thought for sure they were just going to throw her into the bloodline.
She's going to be the next one in.
Yeah. So I'm kind of glad
that would have been an interesting, if provided they went with if they went with Rock versus Roman, which is still being rumored for WrestleMania next year. That would be really
such a waste of a main event.
So here's my take, man. To be honest, and I know we're almost already off of this topic because we kind of wandered around on it.
Yeah.
And I think Joey K was real close on what my take is going to be here. There's certain names you have to live up to in the company, right? For Ava, shit, she's coming out of The Rock. That's a big name to live up to, Win, lose or draw, love or hate, The Rock is one of the most prolific people in the business. Yeah. Randy Orton had to follow in the footsteps of Cowboy Bob Orton. I don't think that helped him out too much. Daddy was a straight up Hall of Famer. Daddy was a worker. And you're his kid. Good looking. You got the talent, a little bit of an attitude, and nobody really wants to do much because you're a bit of an asshole because you know who your dad is.
Yeah.
Here's my difference with The Rock. By all accord, even though his father was Soul Man Rocky Johnson, The Rock was not perceived to be second generation or third generation because of the Soul Man. He was perceived because of High Chief Peter Maivia. Mm-hmm. Peter Maivia had the bigger name than Rocky because of the falling out between the WWF and Rocky. So it's kind of like The Rock didn't have those big expectations. They were willing to give him the benefit of the doubt because, kid looks like he can move. This Flex Cavana kid has got something. He's selling the old-fashioned way. This kid's got some of the touch. They saw things that the Soul Man had in him and were hoping that he had some of the High Chief's moral ground in him, which, we got to see play out. So I think that when they're beginning out, The Rock had a lot more of a earned it kind of feel. So when he finally broke out from the Die Rocky Dies to the Nation of Domination to being the most electric man in sports entertainment, you kind of feel like he deserved it. He earned it.
He definitely did.
Yeah, but that's a personality thing. Because guess what? The Rock may you're right on a path there, but at the same time, The Rock may have not have sounded like Soul Man Rocky Johnson, but he sure as fuck wrestled like Soul Man Rocky Johnson.
Well, that's because his dad trained him. Yeah, got him started.
Yeah, that's the thing. There was nothing wrong with Soul Man's moves. So he was the first African American tag team champion with Tony Atlas.
That's correct.
With Soul Patrol, but
sucking them toes, baby.
Sucking them toes, goddamn. But that's the thing, though. Rocky and I think they do real good of highlighting it. Even when he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, Soul Man was always about the business, but he wasn't always about the business in the right way.
Right.
So I think when you have that stigma of this kid's got it, this kid's got that old school type of feeling, but does he have it up here? They're gonna give you, you're gonna get that honest chance because of your pedigree, and I think that's coming more for The Rock off of the High Chief than it was the Soul Man, and he did more with the opportunity. Randy, they knew what they had. Cowboy
Yeah.
Bob Orton, that's a company man. This guy's been loyal all the way through. This is who we could count on if we need something. So Randy came in, little bit of an asshole. He already knew, hey, I'm gonna retire in this bitch. My dad's name is on the outside. So
Yeah.
it's completely different when you look into the circumstances between both wrestlers, man, and this the genres, the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era.
The
Both of them played
competition too, man. I mean, The Rock was on the stick
exactly.
with what? Shawn Michaels, Triple H,
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Stone Cold,
Mick
Jericho,
Foley,
and competing
he was-
against everything in WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the Monday Night Wars.
and the Ruthless Aggression.
He
it
learned
was
under
just
that learning
done.
tree of Ron Simmons too, who was the actual first black heavyweight champion of the world. So
Thank you. Yes,
know.
he was. And I love me some Ron Simmons. Anyway,
Oh, I love Ron Simmons too.
I love Ron Simmons too.
I do love that
criminally
story real quick though.
underrated.
I do love that story about Ron didn't want to ride in the car with the rest of the nation because the Godfather smoked too much weed. I think that fucking story is just great to me. I don't know why. It's just hilarious that Ron Simmons like, no, I can't ride with you guys anymore because Godfather.
I know it's he's a Florida State guy. You think he'd be used to it? You know what I'm saying?
No, he's a Florida State guy. He's not he's not from the U. All right.
Hey, dude, don't shit on the U. Don't do that.
The low blow, man. Low
Don't
blow
do
on
that.
the U. Personal foul.
I'm not shitting on the U. That's one of my favorite documentaries ever. The first one. The second one's kind of but that first one.
God dang right. Michael Irving is one of the biggest.
What
was it, dude?
The only Dallas Cowboy I'll cheer for is Michael Irvin. I'll tell you that.
Dude's a straight menace. Hired different taxis for each of his baby mamas.
Yeah.
So who watched Halloween Havoc? I know Joey K didn't.
It actually wasn't terrible.
I totally disagree with that. So here's what happened. Saturday came along. I went into work Saturday morning, got off about noon, and I actually somehow talked my wife into watching the pay-per-view with me.
Bless her.
Yeah, goddamn, bless her heart. And that's like almost 3 hours that's 3 hours of our lives we are never fucking getting back. Mm-hmm. When it was over, I legit turned to her and was like, I'm so sorry.
What was it about the show that you didn't like, though?
I feel like it was just one of those deals like they were trying so hard to make that something. And it just I feel like the ladder match at the very beginning was the highlight of the show. Everything after that was a long flush.
I'll agree with you on certain things, in terms of being a long flush, but I mean, I liked obviously the opening ladder match was really good. I really liked the fact that they went with Wesley, and giving his character some, validation finally after all the shit that went down with, his former partner, Nash Carter, and all the stuff that went when he, went down when he got released. I really liked that main event. Like, I thought it was really entertaining. There were moments where you thought any one of those guys were going to walk away with the title and that. So the one thing I really did not like, and I know we were kind of talking about this before we start recording, was that cinematic stuff they added to, before the women's title match. I did not like that at all. I
actually thought the haunted house thing was the most entertaining part of the show because at least it was funny.
Yeah, I think it achieved what it was supposed to.
It wasn't as funny as that women's match between Cora Jade and the 16-year-old or however old she is.
We do not talk bad about Roxy on this show.
No. Hear me out, okay, for real. I think Cora Jade, for her age, is a pretty good women's wrestler, and in 5 years, she's probably going to be something that people are going to want to see. I 100% think Roxy is a very talented. I watched her on the indies. I think she's a solid worker. But you can't take two kids that have been in the business for a cup of coffee and expect them to go out there and tell a story when neither one of them know how to write.
Have you not watched the Jade Cargill match?
Yeah, dude, and I don't think Jade Cargill should have a belt or undefeated record either. She should.
Goldberg.
That to me, that's the same thing. I understand what they're doing. They have two characters that are young and attractive, and people are excited to see them work. But here's the problem. You got to be able to work. And if you can't put two inexperienced workers on a main event show and expect it to go the way it's supposed to go. I mean, that was supposed to be like a weapons. That was supposed to be like a weapons match, right?
Weapons Wild, I think, was the stipulation.
They did that big bump off that top platform. I mean, she literally just turned, wrapped her arm around the girl, and they both kind of looked at each other and went, all right, let's fall.
Well,
nobody shut. I mean, there was nobody suplexed off that into the table. Like, dude, they literally just stepped back and fell off together. They were like more like Thelma and Louise than they were Roxanne and Cora. You know what I mean? It wasn't a good match. And that main event with Breaker and all, dude, that thing was so helter skelter and just the ambulance match.
Hold on. You're going too fast here, buddy. First off, number one.
Well, I'm just trying to get through it because I don't want to relive it. If I talk fast and I don't got to think about it that much longer. I don't. Dennis, the difference between me and Dennis is always going to be Dennis is always going to give them the benefit of the doubt because he's just, if it's wrestling and he can watch it, he's never ever going to say anything it sucks as far as like the whole show didn't suck. He's always going to find good stuff.
I'm a glass half full guy.
You are, and I'm not bragging on you for that. I'm just saying.
I know.
If I see more negative than I do positive, then it wasn't a good show. It just wasn't a good show.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But it all boils down to talking about fuck them kids guy. So fuck them kids in NXT.
They were talking about it on Busted Open like it was like, you know, like Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage was there, and they had 5 matches, and it was the great. I mean, come on, dude. The only reason why Busted Open was blowing it was because Dave LaGreca was there at the pre-show and he got to be on WWE TV, and he's the biggest mark for himself than he is for anybody.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I like Dave. I love Busted Open, but dude, you're pumping that up just because you want to get back on WWE TV. And I get that. That's your job, but that doesn't make the pay-per-view good.
I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy the pay-per-view. Shout out to the NA title being one of the most predominantly held titles by African-American men in the WWE. It's a great statistic I saw there. It's awesome. I mean, I enjoyed the campiness of Mandy Rose's, you know, I guess whatever we would call it, haunted house. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking weird, but
amongst other things,
you know, amongst other things. And I thoroughly enjoy Ilya Dragunov wrestling. I don't know what it is. There's something about that little fool, that never say die attitude, that, you know, you're going to have to kill me style, that I just freaking love. And watching him go against the big pit bull, it was like watching a pit bull and a chihuahua fight. And I was there for it the whole fucking time. I enjoyed the horror show that ended up being the shit show of Halloween Havoc.
I enjoyed it too. But again, we all have different tastes, you know. What I think might be good, Sean might think it's crap. You know what Jovan likes, you know, Joey K might think is crap. I mean, especially when it comes to
Joey K didn't even bother watching it, so
yeah.
Joey K was busy up in the mountains. Speaking of which, what were you doing in the mountains?
Bigfoot.
I was hunting Bigfoot, trying to clap them cheeks. I was on vacation. I was taking a nice time out, a nice scenic visit to the mountains. after I absolutely beat the shit out of Jovan's fucking balls last week. I felt I needed a rest. So you're looking at the fucking tribal chief of this show, baby. I was on vacation.
Oh my God.
You stacked him up, I knocked him down, and I go on vacation. That's what the fuck I do.
Oh boy.
From day one.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, actually it's about 2 weeks ago, we had our boy Sean down here. We got into a little bit of a talk about a gun show and stuff, and he said some things about my cousin and his boy Jerry. And Sean, Jerry sent me this message for you, so I'm gonna play this for you right now. All right?
Oh man, cover your ears, baby. This ain't gonna be good.
So the Silver Fox wants to talk smack, huh? You see, when a person talks about another person and talks down to them about their physical looks, unlike society, I take that and I use it as fuel because I have a fire that burns deep down inside of me, and the more fuel, the hotter the fire burns. The thing about a fox is they may be sly, vicious, sneaky creatures, but they eventually get trapped by the hunter and exterminated. So, Silver Fox, you better get ready because I'm coming.
I fucking wish.
What kind of backwoods bullshit is that?
I was just gonna say your response.
That is, you know what's so funny is I don't think I said anything about a gun show. That was actually Joey K who was like,
I'm the one.
I never lost anybody to Jerry, and now I got Deliverance sending me fucking hate videos and shit.
Yeah, the fucking eater of tasty cakes over there, fucking dropping in the give you a fucking. You didn't even do anything. I'm the one who ripped my shirt off and was flexing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, and I'm just sitting here going, "Oh, I
Ginger Wyatt."
Wow,
Ginger Wyatt.
Jovan.
That's hilarious.
Well, you know what? So, Jovan, I just got an idea. Remember how we were going to build this as a gun show between Sean and Jerry?
Yeah.
Let's make it a 3-way dance. Let's throw the premiere in there.
Oh
yeah.
He's not
Good
ripping
idea,
the
man.
sweatshirt off tonight. He's too warm at home.
Calm down.
I don't
Dude,
know,
he's
man.
all
I
classy.
think he's seriously working out. He's 2 weeks in a row now. He's got sleeves on. There's something going on there. He's
got to hide the. Never mind. I'm gonna leave that one alone. That was a good.
Now
One.
he's got
The
his
only thing
living room.
missing-
You know, there's like a
the only thing-
Bowflex or something in the basement or something. He's over there doing curls or doing some shit.
Yeah.
The fucking thigh
Just
master
remember-
happening
just-
right
hey.
now underneath this table.
Just remember, Pinky's out.
Dude, that
Right.
okay,
Riding
but
the
am I
Bowflex
not
like
kidding?
Benoit.
Was that not like the creepiest fucking promo you've ever seen in your life?
Hold on. Did anybody hear what Jovan just said?
Nope.
No.
And it went perfectly fine without anybody hearing it, Joey. It was just
I
for
fucking
you.
heard it.
What did he say?
I don't even want to repeat it. I'm not saying that.
Ah, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, it must be
what
bad
is
if you're not
wrong
gonna
with
say it.
you? What is fucking wrong with you, bro?
That's right. Right.
Oh my god.
I guess we're gonna have to go back and
tell him
watch
now.
the replay.
I'm gonna have to rewind it.
Oh
and then
no.
watch
It was so good. It was just perfectly snuck in there where you heard it. It's all
Yeah.
that matters.
All right.
Oh, you're,
Okay, so
you're fucked up, bro.
so we got a little bit of time left here. Let's shift over to AEW. What do you think of that the ending of the show last night?
It stinks.
Wow, why do you say that?
It stinks. You're building up the next guy to take your title and you have him jumped by freaking jobbers. It stinks. I don't care if one's 7 foot tall and you can't teach that. It stinks.
All right, Jay Sherman.
It was.
Hey, actually, I like Big Cass. I'm just glad he's getting some work.
I do too. And hey, he needs it so he can keep buying his testosterone TRT replacements because he's looking great. But I mean, Tony Khan must have got a bad batch last week or this past week because Jesus Christ, last night was terrible.
That doesn't feel like
I-
aces. That doesn't feel all aces and eights to you guys. You don't.
I was going to say exactly that. Like I was listening to Busted Open earlier this morning, and
they would
that
know.
got brought up because when you think about it, remember at the beginning of the Aces and Eights storyline, you know, Bully Ray. It was Bully Ray and Sting in a tag match. And then when after the match was the reveal of the first member, which ended up being Devon, and then they stretched it out for, I want to say,
a year,
almost a year or something.
One of the most mind-numbing storylines in the history of professional wrestling.
So we're going back to it.
I think that's what we're getting here. I think that was just they're throwing off the scent and stuff. I think it's all going to come back where I think, it's all a ploy. Like it's all a swerve.
Hot take, fuck it, because I'm tired and we're almost done here. Hot take of the night, and then I'm going to leave this for you guys open. MJF cannot lead a group. Okay, he had the Pinnacle. Pinnacle was the drizzling shits, to borrow from the premiere up there. I don't want to see him with Stokely Hathaways, misfits of fucking broken toys. I don't want him to be with the jobbers of the weeks.
All Ego Canadian Rage or whatever the fuck his name is on. You love that guy.
Hey, I like
Julian. You just say he should have a belt like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and he's like over 31 or some shit.
And he beat your future AEW heavyweight champion's ass down to the ground. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, I know, and that's the most offensive moves he's had in 3 fucking years in AEW.
And he was the main one fucking doing the beatdown, and that's another issue I had with it too. But anyway, yeah, no, it's to me, it sucks. And I love AEW. All you AEW stans, come at me. I fucking love AEW. Right. I spend more money with AEW than I do any other company.
How dominant did Claudio Castagnoli look last night? I thought that was probably his best performance since he's been in AEW.
I mean, we're not surprised. Cesaro can wrestle. He's
always been able to wrestle. Yeah. In other news, grass is green, dude. Yeah, of course you know. The problem is he doesn't have anybody really to go against, and he's been booked like fucking dog shit. So
I like it.
And then And then the other big news with AEW, now there's a story going around that apparently CM Punk's dog was hurt when the door was kicked in and stuff. I mean, my question, why did it take all this time for this story to come out?
Because that dog's fine and they slapped the leg when they kicked it, so nothing happened.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's going on with that whole deal. I mean, even like wasn't there like some vignettes last night about
like almost like the whole they did the Thanos thing where they he snapped their finger and
whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. I feel like they haven't even talked about it. And then I've read numerous things this week about they're working to buy out Punk's contract, and now they're talking about like Triple H is open to Punk coming back to WWE, and crazier shit's happened. I mean, the Warrior came back, and they did a 2-hour documentary and sold that shit on the fact how much they hated that guy.
Look here, Sean. I'm going to tell you to reach out right now. You're going to reach out to Warrior Nation, and we're going to go and strap the rocket ship and go straight to the fucking moon.
Yeah. No, the rocket ship with the fuel. I think
pretty dead on, actually.
Hunter was
sounded more like Mr. Spacely there. You're fired.
I'll take it. I'll take that. Fucking Jetsons reference at 57 minutes in. Hunter was the one behind the whole bringing the Warrior back for that whole deal.
Same thing with Bruno.
Oddly enough, Triple H is also probably responsible for his heart attack. So, I don't know.
Give the Warrior a strong bump and he couldn't take it.
Dude, I'm pretty sure 30 years of steroid and human growth hormone abuse kind of contributed to that.
Hold on. They bring him out for Monday night to give his last farewell. Somebody gives him that one bump for the road, and that's all she took.
God, dude, that's awful. That's
Woo.
awful.
Y'all better watch out, legends who had beef with WWE. They'll bring you back and take you out. Put you in the next video game. You'll be in the next video game with all your rights.
Signed away.
Man.
Signed away.
Now you're a lifer.
You're a lifer. Yeah, you're going to be unlockable every fucking year. And when you get taken off, you'll be in community creations.
Yeah, I will talk on this as far as like the ending of AEW last night. There is a part of me that, especially with the interview he did with Renee and then coming out later on, I don't think it matters whether he's a face or a heel. He's just over.
Yeah.
And he kind of reminds me of Austin before this, like as Steve was turning the corner. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When they were
Ringmaster days before the
think about how he
promo.
used to, Pat, just right after Ringmaster, just as he's starting to get heat, he's starting to, remember him like yelling at, beating up producers and cursing out what's her name? That's the blonde. I can't remember. Sunny, talking down to her and calling her names.
Showing up at Brian Pillman's house.
Yeah, just all that negative stuff. He tried so hard to be just this big heel, but he was just so good at it. He was just over.
Yep.
I think MJF can be the exception to the rule. I think he can be one of those guys that it just depends on who he's working with. I don't think he cares about pop. I don't think he cares about boos. I just think he cares one way or the other. He's getting some kind of reaction. And that interview last night, he was literally back talking Renee and still getting pop. So I love you, Virginia, even though, you're a little trashy and you know what I mean? It's just like everything the guy does is just gold right now. I don't see
and I loved Renee.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I loved just Renee selling it with the facial expressions and everything during the interview.
Who doesn't love a little trashy?
But I just dude, the guy can do, he would literally have to kick puppies in front of people.
They would eat it up. That's his character.
To lose his job.
Fuck them puppies.
Fuck the puppies.
And I don't even know if I should say this, but he's kind of like Trump. Trump said I could kill somebody in the middle of Broadway and nobody do anything. He's kind of on that level of hate, like that level of,
Well, we've lost half the audience, guys.
No, dude.
42.
The 25 or 30 that are watching, they're not voting, bro. Don't worry. I just mean in the sense of Trump as a celebrity, even before the presidency and all that other stuff that was going on.
You mean the Hall of Famer?
Him as a person, people
is he still a WWE Hall of Famer?
I think he is. Yeah,
as far as I know, he is. Yeah,
is he the first ex-president Hall of Famer in the WWE? That's awesome.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, because Jesse Ventura was governor, right?
It was,
yeah. But I just mean in the sense of
Ventura, when Ventura needed money and he started doing the conspiracy theories with Jesse the Body Ventura. Fucking love that shit.
I think that with what MJF is doing and how he's doing it, and just, he's just so damn good. He really is. Like you want to root for that guy, and you want to see him get his face kicked in all at the same time.
Well, just remember, the three, me, you, Sean, and Jovan were all in the suite, at All Out when he showed up, and that place went crazy.
Yeah,
once
they went nuts. And the funny thing is he didn't even do anything. He had 5 guys go out, steal the match. All he
got the chip, and then he came out after Punk won and unmasked, and that was it.
Took his mask off, didn't break a sweat, and he's got the chip and a chance at a title. And that's, how many times has he even wrestled on TV? 12?
And the sad thing is AEW is just
4 years.
So unreliable that we'll never get the payoff to that match.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Joey K, what you thinking up there?
Nothing.
Fantastic.
Nothing at all.
Fantastic.
You've just been
I don't know.
You have been
what
a
the fuck were we talking about?
For about 3 straight weeks, bro. Just a font of information.
What were we talking about again here? I don't know. We got distracted and sidetracked. What the fuck is
That's
happening?
been pretty much the whole show, right?
I was just gonna say.
Let's just call it. We're at the hour. Let's do final thoughts. I'll let Joey K start.
No,
because I'm not letting you in again.
Oh no, I'm good. Go ahead,
Sean. We'll let you give final thoughts first today.
Final thoughts. Okay, I actually have one, and this is going to piss Joey K off, but I'm sick to death of 83-week podcasts. I'm tired of the Cornette cult. I am sick and to death of these old ass promoters. Yep, there he goes. Bye, buddy. These old ass promoters getting on their podcasts and just complain. Vince Russo is another one. Just complaining and ragging on every aspect of pro wrestling because these 3 fucks don't have a job. If anything, I almost Cornette would be the one that I give the most latitude to, because the man is a lifer in this business, and I know how much he loves professional wrestling. I enjoyed him so much as a performer. I enjoyed him as a booker. I enjoyed him as an announcer and a manager, compared to the other two who were just basically, personalities or writers who just kind of showed up and decided, hey, I want to make a living in pro wrestling. And then you think about all the stuff that Eric Bischoff has done and his whole, even the name of his podcast. Like, dude, you fluked your way into winning 83 weeks. You didn't create nobody. You didn't make any kind of storyline that was worth anybody sticking around. You brought 5 guys over from the other company. You put them together and crossed your fingers and hoped it would work out. And in the meantime, you let go of and fired Stone Cold Steve Austin, first ballot Hall of Famer, probably one of the biggest, hottest stars in the history of the business, second only to Hogan. Mick Foley, 3-time world champion, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest personalities and probably one of the smartest wrestlers that have ever been in the business. Mm-hmm. Eddie Guerrero, world champion. You just outright just gave him his release. Triple H, Chris Jericho. I could even say Chris Benoit. How many other guys? Here's another one. Mark Callis. He was in WCW and was told nobody will ever pay money for you to watch you wrestle.
In his defense, I don't think that was Bischoff, because Bischoff wasn't running the show back then. He was
it wasn't. But my whole point is like, you got these guys that are pretty much getting on. Not so much Cornette. I feel like Cornette comes at it. Everything he says and does is from what he would do and how he would book it. And I think of those 3 guys, or a majority of the people that are doing podcasts right now, Cornette is the one guy that I feel like when he says something, you almost got to kind of give it a listen. You got to hear what he's saying, because the guy's been in the business since he was 18, 19 years old. He worked under Dusty Rhodes. He worked under Vince McMahon. He's been a booker, a promoter, an in-ring performer, all of that. Eric Bischoff was just a face that had a microphone in AWA and got lucky to get hired as a producer. And we all know Vince Russo ain't worth a shit.
One thing that I just recently learned about, I was just going to say, one thing that I just recently learned about Cornette, I saw, and I think it was in some post or something I seen online when they were talking about the show on Vice TV, the Tales from the Territories, and they were talking about the episode with about Lawler versus Kaufman, that apparently Jim Cornette was like a ringside photographer and took a lot of pictures during that storyline, which I never knew.
Well, I mean, dude, of those guys, Cornette's, like, I've been listening to his podcast, and number one, is entertaining. Number two, you got to give that guy pretty much 80% of his opinions are accurate. Wrestling.
Look at his house. Have you ever seen pictures of his house? It's like a museum. But
when it comes to, just like Bischoff shitting all over what AEW is doing, and dude, you won 83 weeks, but your company went under and got bought out from underneath you. And not only did it get bought out from underneath you, you went to work for the guy who bought your company.
Yeah.
You're lucky you weren't working concessions in WWE. And he might have been behind the scenes. I don't know. I'm sure he brought Vince water a lot.
Eric Bischoff and catering.
So, just because you have a podcast doesn't mean you have the right to shit on something, especially when you didn't know what you were doing. There were no storylines in WCW. Everything was thrown together for ratings. We're going to have a match for Goldberg and Hogan on Thursday Night Thunder. Thursday Night Thunder. No prep, no storyline, no nothing. And you think you have the right to tell people how to run their business and tell them what you think they're doing wrong? Dude, shut your mouth. That's it. Ran over. I'm done.
I think a lot of what he says, what Sean just said, especially towards the end, about just because you have a podcast and platform, that's the problem with a lot of people in social media these days, because Twitter and Facebook and stuff gives them a platform. And They just, like to spout off things that make zero sense and are just completely stupid, but they think they can get away with it, and stuff. So for me, I'm going to go with, recently there was a report that had come out that, Booker T, I believe on his podcast was talking about, I know Quincy Elliott, who's like one of the new NXT superstars, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, anything like that. And again, this is just my opinion. This isn't reflective of anybody else here. So I want to make that abundantly clear that this is just mine and mine only. That, Quincy Elliott is a very flamboyant, gay character. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But Booker T was getting unfairly labeled as a homophobe because he said Quincy Elliott wasn't doing anything for him. And to me, I think the people that are sitting there just saying because the guy wasn't doing anything for him, that gives them the right to call Booker T a homophobe just because the character or the person playing the character is gay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not liking a character if you don't do it for it, and his orientation shouldn't have anything to do with that. I mean, he even said the same thing, I think, about Dustin Rhodes' portrayal as Goldust's versus like he didn't like it or didn't understand it. But, he later in the same interview said or something along the lines that, turned out to be one of the greatest characters, in the history of, WWE, which he's not wrong. The Goldust character was amazing. I personally, the Quincy Elliott character doesn't do anything for me. I don't understand it yet. I know it's still new, but should I be labeled, with that term just because I don't think that this character does anything for me? I don't think it would be fair for anyone to label me that way. And I don't think it's fair for anyone to label Booker T that way. And this is coming from someone who doesn't agree with a lot of what Booker T sometimes says on his podcast, because he said some really like things that just made me, head scratching, like, what the fuck? But I mean, the man is entitled to his opinion. You don't like it, that's fine. But that doesn't give you the right to call him a homophobe, because that's just wrong. And I think the people that that are accusing him are just as bad as they were trying to make Booker T out to be. So that's my rant.
Okay.
All right. I think Joey K. I think Jovan's going to make you go because he doesn't want you to go make the mistake of you going last. So
no, that's fine. It doesn't matter if I go last or not. Both of you guys have really, really, really good points. But I don't really give a flying fuck. You know why? Because my little buddy down here,
Mr. Winky.
Yeah, I'm actually going to help you two chuckleheads out in a second here. The big guy, after getting his cheeks clapped in by me last week, I can't fucking wait, because now you got to deal with these two fuckers over here playing the Bears this weekend, coming off a big win,
a dominating win.
Those boys learned how to play football out in Chicago all of a sudden this week. So I really can't wait. I hope they absolutely beat the ever-loving dog shit out of the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. I hope you watch it. I hope I'm going to record it, because I just, I want that just to live on in my fucking DVR for a while. I've been kicking back, relaxing, celebrating a little 6-0 bye week this past weekend. It was great. It's a good time. Also, more so than that, I think we haven't addressed this, because I know it's not really your city, but it is your state, you fuck. And we got Friday night coming up real soon, where we get finally those pole greasing motherfuckers out here. Fucking Houston, Texas. You cheating fucking scumbags. You should have got stripped of your stupid fucking World Series title that you cheated and banged your fucking trash cans where you found your fucking dumpster whore wives in, and you're cheating, stealing signs from other teams. That's what I think of the Houston Astros. Oh, the Trastros? Yeah, I fucking hate them. And I cannot wait. Oh, I cannot wait till that big swinging dick Kyle Schwarber comes up, batting one in the order, coming out to fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony like the fucking G that he is, coming up there and just beating the fucking brakes off of Verlander. Good for him. He's fucking Kate Upton. Whatever. He's fucking dead to me. And you know what else is dead to me? Everybody else in Texas. So for all you 3 people from Texas who listen to this show, fuck y'all. Fuck the Cowboys. Definitely fuck the Astros. Oh, and then even better, next Thursday on a fucking travel day, if the series even goes that long, let's be honest, I get Philly and Houston in the NFL next Thursday night too. So extra, fuck that state. Y'all can kiss my ass, especially you down there, you big smiling goof. I pray that the VHS tape doesn't pop when you're fucking crying yourself to sleep watching your Super Bowl win from 30 fucking years ago or whatever it was. Jesus Christ, you bunch of fucking hicks down there. I can't stand you. And I say this in all love because a lot of my family lives in Texas and I don't fucking care. They're all Cowboys fans too. So basically from September until February, they can fucking eat it too. I don't care. Sorry, Aunt Linda, but fuck all y'all.
Sorry, Aunt Linda.
Go Phils. Fuck Dallas. Fuck Houston.
I gotta mark that down because I think that's Joey K's soundbite there for the show. Sorry, Aunt Linda.
I can't wait till baseball and football season are over, dude, because he's just gonna keep ragging on you every week.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. The Flyers won tonight, and I'm sure they're playing Dallas this year, and I don't know when, but I'll fucking throw that in there too. The fucking Dallas Mavericks will be around in Philly. It's going year round. Stick around. It's going to be we're all 4 seasons here.
For all the right reasons.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not an Astros fan, so that's cool. You know, I'm a Rangers fan. We hate Houston as much as the rest of the world.
I'll give you that.
We do consider the city, the metropolitan area of Houston as the armpit of Texas. So I mean, we're there with you, and that was before the trash cans. We just never really liked Houston.
That was before the trash can.
Yeah, it was before the trash cans. We considered them the armpit of Texas. And even to my family members who live out there in Houston, you've made your choice. So you are armpit people.
And that's saying something because I've been to Corpus too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, everything that comes out of the Gulf of Mexico is not great. Like I said, Houston, Texas, armpit of Texas. If the United States had an asshole, I'm pretty sure it'd be Houston area. Yeah, right off the Gulf of freaking Mexico. Yeah, that's where we take our shit.
I will humbly disagree and go with probably Camden or Trenton in Jersey, but okay.
Yeah, I dare not speak ill of Brick City people. They're a special breed.
I just don't feel like this episode is going to get any kind of Emmy nomination or recommendation for Emmy.
We've lost
as
at
opposed
least
to what the other 57 episodes we've done.
We've lost.
I'm pretty sure the only
90%.
people watching this are us this week.
Yeah, we've lost 90% of the people, and then we've mentioned Trump. I made a Benoit comment.
I made a Benoit comment. That's 2.
Yeah, but his was way worse. His was way fucking worse. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
We may have lost a lot of people this episode, and that's cool. And then DDJ's take on Quincy, which honestly, in my opinion, Quincy is the way that Sonny Kiss was being portrayed in AEW, and it didn't go well because they didn't give him the right time or her the right time. They just kind of tried to force it, and it didn't feel natural. Quincy, I feel like they're giving Quincy that time to kind of make it feel like it's something there.
And if anybody knows about forcing it and not letting it feel natural, it would be Jovan.
5 seconds. You goddamn right. Damn right. You know, sometimes they're not all 10s, ladies and gentlemen out there. They're not all 10s. Sometimes you take the shot of tequila to raise her up 4 or 5. But hey, it happens from day one.
They're the ones.
They're the ones. They're the ones that you take home after 5. Anyway. Like there ain't ugly people out there in Philly. I seen some of y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all.
There's some fucking dumpster fires walking around. Who gives a fuck though? They're working those grease poles in Philly right now too. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's like a friend of mine used to say. You know, there's nothing wrong with being an ugly girl till your friends find out. But anyway. Anyways, to my final thoughts, so we can wrap up this trash can.
So wait, you mean all that wasn't your final thought?
No, that was just my
he was just
ramble.
responding to.
Yeah, to y'all's final thoughts. I mean, shit, I've let y'all all go on the whole goddamn hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to take a second. Then my final thought. So, I can just get rained my ass every fucking week and then I can't get a minute. Anyway.
I thought all you needed was 5 seconds, bud.
Go. You're damn right.
Give your balls a tug.
5 seconds of fury. Anyway. Actually, I have no final thought this week. I've been fucking railroaded every way but from Sunday on this damn show today. And now I got the countdown from the world's most half-empty glass full up there with his shaved head this week. So I'm just going to say that we want to thank the ladies out there in accounting, the jobbers out there at the catering stop, the Phillies, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Eagles, everybody but the Washington Commanders. Hope they're all you guys are all okay with me. The gun show down there. He's showing he's showing Ginger White his muscles down there in case he wants to bring it. But hell, there's no better way to end this. I said we just cut it. DDJ, cut the feed. We're just gonna go home. Have a good night, everybody. If you're still watching.
Fuck yeah.
Do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Follow the show on Twitter at SHOOTINSHT, and thanks for listening.